Welcome to TapToSpeak. This video will show you how to use TapToSpeak. To log in, go to taptospeak.com, upon which you can sign up or sign in. If you are given sign-in information, click on sign in and log in. After you log in, you will see the welcome screen where we show you some pertinent information, as well as there's a welcome video and a little bit description about how to use TapToSpeak. There's also a help file in the upper left corner under this international symbol of information and the menu. The next thing what you want to do is, or the first thing you want to do is to create an event. Most likely you will not see the events listed here because you will not have them. As you can see, I already created 4 events. They are listed right here. One is called Second Conference, one is called My First Event, Third Conference Paris, France, and then NYC Conference Breakout number 2. To add an event is super simple. You click Add an Event, you give it a name, so we will call it NYC Conference Breakout Session number 1. And the default date is to today or right now. You are able to change the dates whenever your event is going to be held. If there's a public Wi-Fi name, you are able to give it right here. So we'll call it NYC Wi-Fi. What is the user or password? Typically is a guest. And then what is the password? We'll give it that just for now. If you would like your event to be password protected, you're able to do so right here. You just enable this button and give it a password. You will just call it event pass. Okay, and we're ready. You just hit add event. You have a little indicator of success or failure at this bottom right corner. So you have created your very first event called NYC Conference Breakout number 1. And you'll see certain information on this screen. This screen is for you as the event manager only. The most important thing is the conference link for users. This will be the URL that will be displayed on the projection screen of the conference, and this is the link where the people will log in with their mobile phones. If there's a Wi-Fi obviously in your event, they're able to connect it with this information. However, our application is designed to run on the people's whatever their cell phone carrier is. The bandwidth should be sufficient for carrying their voice. At this point, the section show you here is the place where somebody will be speaking currently, and then down here will be awaiting to ask a question queue. Obviously no one is here because no one has connected. Here's your password. There are some things you need to do to enable and start the event. To start an event, you hit the button called Start Event. At this point, the event is active and started, as well as you are able to open up the event screen. So when you click this button, it will pop open a new browser or a new tab. This event screen, you will notice there were 2 green status notices that says connection live audio is enabled. So what that means is that this particular screen needs to be displayed on the device that is connected to your soundboard. So you can run it on a laptop, you can run it on a tablet, either iPad or Droid or Windows tablet, anything that can, that has a audio out with a jack. So basically you just plug in the little audio out phone jack into your device, your laptop or your tablet, and then the second end, those are the 2 channel, left and right channel. I think they're called the RCA connectors. They go into the in of the soundboard. Your sound technicians will be able to hook you up with that. It's very simple, very easy, simple audio cable. That is a standard that pretty much every soundboard will have. Doing so will obviously pipe in the voice of your audience from their cell phones through the screen to the soundboard, and not only they'll be heard during your event, but also if you're recording your event, their voice will be recorded, because chances are you are recording it in the sound output, so that will be all combined together in your sound. It is recommended that you can project this page on your projector or your TV circuit systems for the conference, where people are able to see the information. In this place, you will see obviously the Wi-Fi information. You see the conference or the event name, which is unique to what you set up right here in your dashboard. As well as when somebody is speaking, you will see that person's name, their photo, and here's the information for them how to join. Below here we'll see who is in line to speak. Alright, so let's do this. Let's simulate certain users. You'll notice that on this side of the screen I have a few browsers that are simulating mobile phones. We have one browser, two browsers, and I believe three browsers. So these are simulation of mobile users who are your event participants. So what you're going to do is since you're going to show them this screen, you will instruct the people, if you want to ask a question, go to this URL. So in their phones they will go to this URL, and when you go to that URL, you will be automatically redirected to your conference, NYC Conference Breakout 1. So the first person is, let's say this person's name is John. Oh, before we do that, obviously it's asking for the password. And do you remember the password from your dashboard? You go back here, your password is event pass. So it's event pass. This password you can give out verbally or in other instructions. We obviously don't display password on here because we want to keep it a password. Maybe only certain people are allowed to ask questions. However, this is optional. So let's say if I don't want to need the password, all you have to do is just disable it. And I'm going to click this and pay attention to this screen. What's going to happen is I'm going to disable this password, and you notice that right away on the cell phone the password field disappears, and now they just are able to enter their name. So for the sake of the rest of the demo, we will keep the password disabled. So that means this event does not need a password. So let's the first user, the first audience member who wants to ask a question, their name is Mark, and Mark is from, let's say, FBI mobile unit, and Mark is ready to ask a question. Then he goes next, and if Mark wants to add a picture of himself, he can either take a photo of himself right there on the spot, or he can upload a picture from his gallery, and that's what we will do at this point. We'll just upload an existing picture of Mark, and let's see if that will work for us. At this point we'll just say, okay, Mark is ready to get into the queue. Mark will say tap to speak, and what you'll notice, two things will happen. On Mark's device there will be a menu that will pop up that says that the browser would like to use the built-in microphone, and obviously that will be his mobile device, and then he will say yes, share the microphone with this browser, and this simulates perfectly. So this is exactly how it's going to be on the device. You say yep, share the device, and at this point his mobile phone is ready to be used as a microphone. However, we are not necessarily open for questions yet. So you'll notice on your dashboard, you'll notice that Mark at FBI mobile unit is currently first person in line to speak. However, at this point, the allow asking questions are not enabled yet. So this button here, you need to press to allow asking questions. The reason for this is because we are able to give this URL in the beginning of the conference or of the speech, of the talk, or in the middle of it, where you can say, hey, everyone who wants to ask questions, just go ahead and connect to this URL, and you'll be able to ask your questions at the end of the event, or when the speaker calls up you to ask a question. And so at this point, let's keep it off for now. I want to show you the screen that is facing publicly. Let's say if you choose to project the TapToSpeak public facing screen, you will be able to see this screen, which is unique to your very own conference URL. So this particular URL is unique to this very conference. And obviously this is the same Mark at FBI mobile unit, and the picture that we uploaded for Mark is displayed right here. Looks like we have little issues here with formatting, which we will definitely address. And below Mark, there will be a list of people who are next in line to ask questions. So let's simulate that. All right. So let's say the next person will connect to our application, and I will just go ahead and enter the URL for your specific session. And in here, the name of the person next is Linnea, and Linnea is working for, let's say, Air France, and she's ready to be put into queue. She will say yes. Obviously, she's able to take a picture of herself, or she doesn't need to. If she doesn't want to, she doesn't need to. All she has to do is just say tap to speak. You will see again the dialog will show up for this user, which in this case is Linnea, to share the microphone with the browser. Just say yes. And at this point, this person is also put in queue. And you notice on this side, this is the public facing one, that Linnea is the next in line. So what happens on the dashboard, you click on your management dashboard, you'll notice that Linnea is next in line to ask questions. At this point, again, the event is not enabled to ask the question. So at this point, we're still collecting people who are interested asking questions. So let's go to the next person, and let's say this will be our next. All right, so at this point we clicked on enable open event to ask questions, and you notice that our first gentleman, Mark at FBI mobile unit, he is currently speaking. All right, so at this point, this particular cell phone belongs to somebody else, because it says currently speaking is Mark. And so let's find Mark. He is also not Mark, because it displays that Mark is currently speaking, and there it is. We found the simulation for Mark, and again, this may be a little bit messy here, but it does make sense in the real life. So when Mark is ready to speak, his cell phone will become available to serve as a microphone. All he has to do is just click here and hold, and at this point he's able to speak, and his voice will carry through the system and through the audio to the soundboard. Okay, and then when he's done asking questions, he just releases. So again, it's hold, tap, hold to speak. His mic is live right now. It's indicated by the green microphone icon, as well as the background of his app will change darker. When he's done, he just releases it, and this goes off. When Mark is done, he can either hit no question and release it, or you, as the administration of this thing, of this event, you can just click here on the dashboard, and then you're also able to see who is next in line. Let's say if for some reason this person would not be interested for you to be next in line, you can actually remove that person. The next version of TapToSpeak, we also have a short text field, which will also allow the people to 140 characters Twitter type way to tell us what is their question about or what the topic is of the question. And then you can not only see their name, where they're from, but also what's the nature of the question. Again, it's the next version of TapToSpeak. Right, so at this point, let me just show you quickly how to release Mark. You just get rid of him this way and then watch his cell phone. So when you get rid of him here, you'll notice how quickly his cell phone responds, and then his connection at this point is already done broken, and then the next person in line is Linnea. At this point we have a little bug. We notice that Linnea does not jump onto here, which she should be jumping onto here, but she's not. So however, her mic right now is hot and live, and so when you will change to her emulation, this is her emulated mobile phone, it says, yeah, currently she's speaking. Again, all she has to do is hold and speak. And I'm curious if you hear the echo. That echo, it's actual voice coming over the internet to your event. I didn't want to shut that off to kind of show you this was actually live feed of the voice. All right, so we have been simulating the three event participants who have connected to your New York City Conference Breakout Session 1. And again, those are the 3 emulations. And again, this is a live application. Everything is live. The only thing that we don't have at this point is the mobile phones of those people, but it works exactly the same with the mobile phones. Everything's going through internet connection, in and out. So let's make another point. Once again, is it's important for you to the way how you connect to the soundboard. You make sure you have the open event screen open, which you trigger it with this button here. And we already have done that before. So you go over here. So that is the publicly displayed screen. Again, we highly recommend that you actually can project that on your projection screen of your conference for many different reasons. One of them is it shows the actual link to this audio room. It shows how people can connect with their mobile phones. It also shows a Wi-Fi network if it's there. It shows who is speaking. It shows their picture if they choose to upload it. And again, this is great for networking. And it also can show you who's next in line to speak. It's great for networking. Often when people ask questions, we don't know who they are. And maybe they actually end up asking an intelligent question and somebody else from the audience wants to connect with them. So I can just take a screenshot of them or whatever and then connect with them, look them up. We are also working on some improvements in this. So we are working on the way where they actually can enter some very short description what the question is, so that when you go back to your dashboard, you will not only see who's next in line, but you also be able to see what is the nature of the question. So we're thinking to do it like in a short snippet, Twitter-like 140 characters of what is your question about, and then if you like them, you keep them. If you don't like that question, you can nuke them out and disable them. So again, make sure that the device that is connected to your soundboard is the device that displays this screen, because this is the live audio connection with the server that receives the feed, the audio feed from the mobile phones. And again, you do it connecting it through the out like a phone jack from your laptop or your tablet, your iPad, to the soundboard in, which is the two left-right RCA type of connectors. Very simple configuration. What else? Well, and if you use, or when you use the system, we would greatly appreciate your feedback. Please submit any bugs that you find by emailing us at this email address. we monitor it. If you have any improvements, we have started working on version 2 of TapToSpeak, and version 2 will include a lot more cool features. Like people will be able to pose their questions via texting, chat. There will be surveys and some questionnaire, as well as you'll be able to rearrange the order of people that will speak in. So, and I also mentioned people are able to type in type of questions they're asking in a very short manner. All right. Actually, at this point, if let's say you actually can affect who speaks next. So let's say if you don't like this person from the airframe speaking, all you have to do is just click this, and that person is done. She can ask questions, and you notice this was her phone, and so then their cell phone will just displays back to the audio stuff. And maybe if she wants to sign up again, she can, and so we'll just show you again, but then she will be brought to the end of the line, so to speak. And there we go. So now John is next in line. All right. That probably is all for now. Again, pause questions is pausing the event. You can still keep the audience going, but no one can speak. You can clear the queue, let's say, and again, any bugs, let us know. Thank you so much for using this, for interacting with it, and we would greatly appreciate any and all feedback you have, any new suggestions, any corrections, any additions. We greatly value your feedback. Thank you so much.